Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Noah Saifullah, and this is Journey to Islam presented by Mercy for Mankind. We're out here in beautiful Southern California. We're talking to real brothers and sisters, following them on their journey to Islam, how they discovered it, and what made them embrace becoming a Muslim. The topic today is Hispanics in Islam. One of the fastest growing groups embracing Islam at an alarming rate. But the question is why? And to answer that question, we must go back in history. And there you find out that in the Middle Ages, Spain was ruled by Muslims for over 800 years. Not to mention, there are over 4,000 Arabic words in the Spanish language. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk to our brothers and sisters, Brother Hector and Sister Diane, and we're going to find out what was their journey to Islam. Brother Hector.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Tell me a little bit about your religious background growing up.
I was born in Honduras.
Okay.
I was raised Catholic, and they were, they were practicing. We would go to church every so often. We're brought up to believe in Jesus, peace be upon him, and all the other prophets as well, from Adam, Noah, Moses, all of the prophets, peace be upon them all.
You shared to me that when you were brought up, you weren't brought up with the notion that Jesus was God.
Right. In Catholicism, you are taught that Jesus, peace be upon him, is God. Now, in my own personal family, though, we weren't really brought up that way. We were brought up to believe in Jesus, peace be upon him, that he was a great man, that he came to the people and he preached the oneness of God.
Okay.
And, we loved him, He was a great man. He was to be loved, respected and everything. But that was pretty much the extent of it, just the same as all the other prophets.
Now tell me about how you came across Islam.
I was actually introduced to it at work by a sister, and after that I did my own research as well.
Okay.
And I found that pretty much what Islam taught was what I already believed myself. It was in line with my own teachings growing up. Okay. Believe in one God, believe in all his prophets and messengers, his books, his angels, I already knew this, So of course it was simple for me to say, this is my religion, this is what I was taught growing up.
Exactly.
So I decided to become Muslim.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. What point of your understanding brought you to that point of taking a Shahada? Like what tipped you over?
One thing I told myself when I was learning about it was, okay, I can't believe in this if it doesn't include Jesus,
Yep.
Jesus, peace be upon him, was, this great man, But this prophet, peace be upon him, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, brought this message, but where's Jesus in all of this?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking, So I did a bit more research and I saw that, Jesus is there too,
Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
And so I said, no, this is it.
Okay.
This is it. I have to accept
take
it.
your Shahada.
Yeah. So the following day was Friday, so I went to the khutbah. And then I told someone, I want to take Shahada. I want to take Shahada. I took my Shahada, and then everyone rushed me, for the hugs, the congratulations, all of that. I had never seen someone take Shahada, so I wasn't expecting this. All this group of people thanking me, congratulating me and everything. It's surprising. It was a great feeling.
Alhamdulillah. Excellent story, Brother Hector. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Sister Diane, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Tell us a little bit about your life before you accepted Islam.
We moved to South Central Los Angeles, and the demographics were very different from what they are currently. It was predominantly African American.
Oh, okay.
I went to school, aside from a normal child school issues and things of life, I was surrounded by some adults that were, drug abusers and heroin addicts. We grew up Catholic by tradition.
Okay.
And as mentioned going into the confessional, having to confess your sins as a 7-year-old. What could you possibly do at that age that would be so horrific? My sin at that age was sticking bubble gum under my grandparents' coffee table. That's what I confessed to. And them telling me, you know, say 10 Our Fathers, 25 Hail Marys, and go put a quarter in the donation box. And that was the beginning of the conditioning. Again, I remember being in junior high school and giving the assignment by the teacher to do a biography of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him.
Wow.
And I remember going to the library, you know, as a kid and getting all these encyclopedias and these books on him. I got an A+ for the presentation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my time yet. It didn't click.
Yeah.
I just viewed him as a person to be respected, a historical figure. I had no doubt in his existence whatsoever.
Alhamdulillah.
Then, you know, going to college, now you're really having intellectual interchanges with other people, encounters, and you're trying to expand your horizons in terms of what you see in the world, your observations, their observations. And between classes, I met some Muslim brothers.
Okay.
The topic of conversation went to religion. And, you know, they asked me what was I. I said, well, I'm a Christian. And they said, well, you know, as that question that I will never forget, you know, why do you worship Jesus? Why not worship the one that created Jesus?
Exactly, yes.
And as I said, I would go home frustrated. I would be like, what's the comeback to these guys?
Yeah.
Because if I'm standing on truth, I can refute anyone, right?
Exactly, yeah. Truth abolishes falsehood,
exactly.
You know, it extinguishes it, you know.
And the more I tried to refute it, the more unsettled my heart was with my belief. And I believe that where there's doubt, there's not faith. So it got to the point where, you know, I said to myself, Dan, you have to make a proper decision. Because I know having anything in this dunya or nothing of this dunya, this world, we have a soul. This body encases a soul.
Yes, indeed.
And this decision, you know, may result in a lot of people not liking Diane.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I had to think, you know, the reality is not everyone will like you.
Yeah.
Why are you tall? Why are you fat? Why are you short? Why this? Why that? So I thought to myself, let me strive to please my Lord.
Yes.
And whoever loves me will love me. And whoever
true.
doesn't, have a nice day. It is really that simple, but we tend to complicate things as humans. So pondering that, the next day I encountered those brothers again, and I said, I need to embrace this religion.
Yeah.
So they told me how to say the testification of faith. You know, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And I went home, went to bed that night. I didn't know anything. I didn't know taharan, salat, siyam, zakah. I didn't know any of that. But I knew, and I accepted, and I affirmed, and I testified to the oneness of the Creator.
Alhamdulillah.
And I said, Ya Allah.
Yeah.
I said, Ya Allah, if I die tonight, you know that I died loving you and wanting to worship you and you alone, because only you are worthy of that worship. And I laid down and I slept.
Wow.
And when I woke up that morning, I said, Alhamdulillah, He gave me another day. And literally, I take it like that day by day.
Alhamdulillah.
It's been 30 years, 1984.
Wow. Wow.
Now, of course, the goodness you have, you want to spread it towards others. I started visiting my family home.
Okay.
You know, taking some cinnamon rolls, having your Sunday coffee, and bringing up the topic of religion. I started presenting Islam in a natural way, the way I speak, as I've always spoken. And one by one, my mom, my dad, my brothers, in their own time, embraced Islam.
Wow. How many family members would you say embraced Islam?
9. My grandmother in her 90s embraced Islam.
Wow. Your grandmother in her 90s
Yes.
embraced Islam.
And she passed as a Muslim. She was buried as a Muslim.
How different is the culture of Islam in contrast to the culture that you were brought up with, the Hispanic culture?
Well, the culture I was brought up with, it's similar to the religion of Islam. Just because, you know, I have a sister.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, growing up, my father was very protective of her. You know, he would tell her, like, no boyfriends, let me not hear you. Anything about a boyfriend from you, okay? We were brought up to eat with our hands, you know?
Okay.
And that's actually one of the sunnahs of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to eat with his hand, you know? Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, so it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing, alhamdulillah. What about you, Sister Diane?
I think that a lot of the Hispanic culture kind of derived a lot of it from the Islamic culture.
That's true, yeah.
For example, importance on the family, respect for the elders, care for the young ones. Again, you know, preserving your dignity and being virtuous. We did value time together, like family dinners and visiting relatives was very important. Silat al-Rahim, you know, keeping those family ties are very important. So it wasn't that I had to have a great transition from one to the other. I think it just reconciled itself.
Okay.
I think I do get out of my culture the goodness of it, and what is contrary and non-beneficial to me, I just leave it to the wayside. So it wasn't a horrible struggle in terms of reconciling who I was with Islam. I know some Hispanics say, I want to hold on to my heritage, meaning Catholicism.
Yeah.
But if you really want to go way back, we know Spain was a Muslim country for 7 centuries.
Definitely, yeah.
So, you know, if you really want to go further back, well, we come from Adam and Eve, and Adam taught the oneness of Allah.
The oneness of Allah.
So what I love about Islam is that, you know, I didn't have to become this person that I'm not.
Alhamdulillah.
If you ask me to stand under the flag of Pakistan, I can't. I'm not Pakistani.
Exactly.
If you ask me to stand under the flag of France, I'm sorry, I'm not French. If you ask me to stand under the flag of the U.S., well, you know, I have a love relationship with Uncle Sam, you know. But if you ask me to stand under the banner of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, I can, he can, you can, we all can. You know, that's why I try to promote unity amongst the Muslims.
Definitely, yeah. Within the Hispanic community, is there a lot of dawah going on? And exactly what is that dawah going on inside the actual community?
The need is there.
Okay.
There are people that are active, but I think what Hispanics need to understand and realize is that they need to learn in order to teach. Because if we're going to rely on one teacher, you know, it's not an intelligent way to approach dawah. So as we are learning, we need to prepare ourselves in order to teach others.
That's true.
Yes, and I think that's where we're slightly lacking in some cases.
What about you, Brother Hector? What would you say?
I think that there is actually an interest from the people as well, non-Muslims. I actually give dawah to my neighbors in my apartment complex. A lot of them see me, you know, they see me and after engaging me, basically making sure like it's okay to talk to me and stuff, they'll approach me and ask me what exactly Islam is, you know. I've had strangely enough people come to me and confess things to me, you know.
Oh wow.
But I tell them, you know, that I mean that's between you and God, you know. I can't. I don't know what you see in me, but I can't actually forgive you for anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I explain to them what Islam is, what it is that we do, you know, when we want to ask for forgiveness, you know. And I explain to them like how easy it is to do that. You know, just ask your Creator, you know, ask Allah, ask Allah. It's obvious in them, you know, that they feel sorry for whatever they did. You know, so I explain to them, just ask God for forgiveness. Like I tell them, you know, it's God has made it simple for us. We know we did something wrong, turn to Him and Him alone. I explain to them that He's the only one that can forgive, He's the only one that can protect, you know. So the interest is definitely there, I believe. We just have to be more open, especially with, you know, like strangers. Bring them our religion to them, you know.
What is Mercy for Mankind doing in the Hispanic community, dawah-wise?
Well, it's actually bringing, like I said, the message to the people, you know, a message that's really needed, because a lot of my culture, basically, unfortunately, they don't understand what Islam is, you know, especially with the media. or even the fact that in some of our countries it's mostly Christian dominant. You know,
That's true.
they know nothing about Islam. They really do need the information that we give out. You know. And it really is useful to have someone that actually speaks the language. You know, it helps out. It breaks barriers really, because it shows the people that no, you don't have to be an Arab to be a Muslim. You know,
that's true. Brother Hector, what would you say are the challenges and opportunities for giving dawah in the Hispanic community?
Well, I think both the challenge and the opportunity would be just like I said, breaking the barriers. It's a challenge because, like I said, a lot of people think that only the Arabs are Muslims.
Yeah.
And the opportunity is there to, you know, show them that no, it's not for just the Arabs. It's for any race. Islam is not just for one race given to one people. No, it's for all people, all humanity. So that's the greatest opportunity of all, just breaking those barriers, really.
Would you say that, because I know you give dawah to all kind of people, would you say that giving dawah to Hispanics, they're a little more receptive to it, or what would you think?
I think it's more of your own background, you know.
That's true.
I generally do have their background. I know, I generally do know their upbringing, that sort of thing, what exactly we've done, because we have that in common, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel it's a tad bit easier, just because I can relate to them.
Exactly,
you know?
Yeah.
Definitely,
yeah,
I can relate with them.
Yeah.
And especially coming from a Catholic background as well, you know, that really helps out as well.
When you approach someone and you kind of speak like them and look like them, the rapport will be built at a quicker rate.
That's true.
Unfortunately, people tend to be divisive in terms of viewing people of other races and cultures as, you know, like they're a little bit on guard. So I think when you approach them speaking their language, it automatically makes them feel comfortable. And I think when you speak your mother tongue, you probably would speak with more conviction.
That's true.
Because you know the nuances of your language. Whereas if you're speaking the second, third language that you're not proficient in, it might, you know, show that you're hesitating a little. So again, it just comes down to being comfortable.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. What things differently do you do after you've given the dawah and somebody took the shahada or converted to Islam? What do you do afterwards?
Well, you know, obviously I get their contact information, and I will make that call to make sure they're okay. You know, they, alongside changing their belief, they might have other needs. You know, be it economical, job placement. There's so many things, and I think it's important to network. You know, because you can have something you can offer them, but if you're not networking, you wouldn't know. So networking is crucial amongst the Muslims, the Hispanic Muslims as well.
Keeping in touch with the new brother or sister, you know, just you know, making sure they stay on the deen, because we don't really want to see, you know, someone take the shahada and then just go off the road. We don't want it to just be something they just say with their tongue. You know, we spend some time with them, explaining to them what it is, and hopefully open up their heart. And it's not just by the tongue. Hopefully it resonates in their own heart, you know.
Definitely.
So we do want to keep in touch with them, just make sure that they're staying steadfast on this path, and see if we can give them any support of any kind, if at all possible.
Final thoughts.
Just really do want to stress that that support for the new Muslims. I know of a lot of people that took shahada, and you know they just can't find the support afterwards. You know, they don't know how to pray, they don't know their surahs, nothing like that. You know, so definitely I cannot stress enough how much that's needed. Really, after the shahada, it really is important for us to keep in touch with these brothers and sisters and help them out as much as possible.
Definitely, definitely.
If, with your permission, if I may make a slight
Just more
appeal.
of a message.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. En el nombre de Allah, Quisiera aconsejar a mis hermanos y hermanas del habla hispano que es muy importante analizar y no aceptar las cosas tal como son. Allah nos ha dado inteligencia para ver lo que es correcto y lo que es incorrecto en la vida, y lo más importante es la adoración a Dios. Con toda sinceridad, sabiendo que hay un día del juicio que hablamos y todos nosotros estamos buscando de ver la verdad, hay que buscar. Eso es lo mínimo que pido a ustedes con toda sinceridad. Que Allah les bendiga y les da guianza en esta vida. Amén.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Brother Hector, may Allah reward you. Sister Diane, may Allah reward you also. Thank you for being guest on the show.
It was wonderful.
Sharing your journeys with us. Inshallah, somebody out there is watching and will get inspiration from some of the things that you shared. In Spanish, there are over 4,000 words that are actually Arabic. So I actually want to leave on a word that means to God. And I would like to say, adios. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.